A real estate viewing in an old house. Everything here is original. The house has character. Was that crack here before?
That's not normal.
It's looking at us. Yumi had recently moved to a new apartment just outside Tokyo. The building was modern but quiet, with narrow streets and small parks nearby. Excited to see her new place, Mika and Aya arrived in the early evening, carrying small bags and cameras.
Wow, this is cozy and quiet too.
Yeah, a nice change from the usual busy city streets.
I love it here. The apartment is fine, the neighbors are polite, and nothing weird so far, I promise.
As they unpacked a few snacks and settled in, they chatted about the move, the view from Yumi's balcony, and how different life felt in a quiet suburb. Everything seemed normal, though Mika couldn't shake a subtle feeling of being watched. Tiny, almost imperceptible. Earlier, when Yumi had moved in, the real estate agent hadn't mentioned any peculiarities about the building. However, a neighbor had briefly asked if there had been any strange occurrences in the apartment. Yumi laughed it off, assuring them everything was fine.
Did the neighbor really ask about, weird things?
Yeah, but I told them nothing unusual. I mean, why would there be?
True, and anyway, it's your place now. Let's just enjoy the weekend.
They laughed lightly, unpacking cameras and settling onto the couch. Though the conversation was casual, the words lingered, leaving a small seed of unease. That evening, the three of them sat around Yumi's new apartment kitchen table, enjoying a simple dinner and tea. The warm glow of the ceiling light filled the small room, and the soft hum of the city outside seeped in through the windows. Everything felt comfortable. Yumi's new kitchen, the little balcony plants, even the faint smell of fresh paint.
This kitchen is actually really nice, better than I expected.
Yeah, and it's so quiet for being this close to the city. It feels cozy.
I told you there's nothing to worry about here. No weird stuff at all.
After dinner, the girls cleaned up and settled in for the night. Mika felt a faint unease, a fleeting sensation that someone might be watching her. It wasn't alarming, more like the instinct you get in a new place, the kind that makes you double-check your surroundings. As she glanced toward the walls, she noticed a thin crack along a corner of the living room wall. Barely noticeable, it caught the light for a moment, almost seeming to shift slightly.
There's a crack in the wall.
She didn't mention it to anyone. It could be just the wall settling, or maybe she was imagining it. Either way, she decided she would tell Yumi in the morning and suggest contacting the agent. Better safe than sorry.
I'll let Yumi know tomorrow, no need to make a fuss tonight.
The apartment stayed quiet. The soft sounds of the city outside faded into the night. And Mika, still thinking about the crack, slowly drifted off to sleep. The first morning in Yumi's new apartment was quiet. Sunlight filtered through the curtains, and the faint sound of city traffic drifted in. Mika stirred awake, feeling a mild restlessness as she stretched. The crack ran vertically near the corner of the living room, faint but clearly visible in the morning light. A subtle unease pricked at Mika's mind, though she felt no immediate danger. Mika quickly went to find Yumi, who were in the kitchen chatting over coffee.
Hey, come look. There's a crack here in the wall.
Really? Let's see.
Huh, I didn't notice that last night. Where is it?
They all walked over to the corner, inspecting the faint line. But as they stepped closer, Mika noticed it was gone. The wall looked perfectly normal again, as if the crack had never been there.
Maybe I'm just seeing things, or my eyes are still sleepy.
Must be some shadow or the morning light. Nothing to worry about.
Strange, but yeah, nothing to get worked up about now.
Mika nodded, brushing it off. For now, it felt like nothing more than a trick of the light, or an overactive imagination. The three friends returned to breakfast, chatting about ordinary plans for the day.
Yeah, I'll mention it again tonight if it shows up, but probably just eye fatigue, nothing to get worked up about.
At least it's quiet here. New place, new day. We can enjoy it while it lasts.
Even as the apartment hummed with normal morning life, Mika couldn't quite shake the faint memory of the crack. A tiny mystery that hinted that this ordinary new home might not be so ordinary after all. That evening, the three friends gathered in Yumi's new apartment. The city outside twinkled through the windows, and the room smelled faintly of dinner and coffee. Laughter and casual conversation filled the air as they settled in.
I'm glad we came up here. It feels cozy, doesn't it?
Yeah, no cameras, no work, just a quiet night.
And some snacks, of course. Can't survive without snacks.
They chatted, played music softly, and gradually, the room fell into a comfortable silence. Everything seemed normal. Later, as Mika prepared for bed, she paused near the living room wall. Her eyes caught a faint vertical line. Again, the crack was back.
It's back exactly where I saw it before.
You mean that crack? Again?
Yeah, but last time it disappeared. Weird, right?
Maybe we should check it properly? Could be a structural issue?
They stepped closer to inspect, but as they approached, the crack seemed to fade, just as before. Mika shook her head, rubbing her eyes.
Must be my eyes seeing things.
Yeah, probably just the light. Don't overthink it.
Later that night, as they settled down, Yumi spotted something unusual near the corner of the room. Several thin cracks had appeared, radiating across the wall, more than before.
Guys, look, there's more of them now.
Wait, how did that happen?
They weren't here before it's spreading.
The three friends stared at the wall. Tiny lines branched out, twisting across the surface, forming a network of narrow fissures. An uneasy feeling pressed on their chests. They didn't understand what was happening.
I'm calling the agent. Maybe there's something wrong with the walls.
As Yumi dialed the number, Mika and Aya turned back toward the wall. To their horror, every crack simultaneously opened wide, revealing countless staring eyes, unblinking and bright in the dim room. They stumbled backward, hearts racing. Every eye seemed to follow them, watching their every move.
Get back!
Run, now!
It's everywhere.
The apartment, once ordinary and quiet, now felt alive with something ancient and vigilant. Screaming and shaking, Mika, Aya, and Yumi rushed out into the night. They didn't stop until the streetlights of the neighborhood were far behind. The rest of the night, they stayed at Mika's apartment, trembling and silent, unable to sleep.
Whatever that was, it wasn't harmless this time.
Yeah, we can't go back there tonight. Not safe.
I'm seriously thinking of moving. I can't deal with that.
The night air was cold, carrying the faintest hint of unease. The cracks, and the eyes they contained, seemed to haunt their thoughts even miles away. Whatever had manifested in Yumi's apartment was no ordinary problem. It was something far older, observing, waiting, and unseen. The next morning, Mika, Aya, and Yumi sat in Mika's living room, still shaken from the previous night. The sun streamed weakly through the curtains, casting soft light on the coffee table cluttered with notebooks and phones.
I can't stop thinking about those eyes, the cracks, everything.
It was like the whole wall was alive. I've never seen anything like it.
I can't stay there anymore. Something about that apartment, it's not right.
The three friends exchanged uneasy glances, the memory of countless unblinking eyes lingering in their minds. They needed answers. Mika pulled out her laptop, while Aya and Yumi gathered old folklore books and online archives. They searched for anything resembling the strange phenomenon. Walls, cracks, eyes.
Here it says, Mokumokuren, the many-eyed one. It appears in homes where walls have cracks or sliding paper doors. At night, the cracks may reveal countless eyes, watching those who dwell inside.
So the cracks themselves are the creature? Or are the eyes the creature?
Does it attack, or just watch?
The texts described that Mokumokuren rarely harmed ordinary people, was said to be a spirit tied to the house itself, appearing where neglect or accidents had left marks. Some sources suggested that it observed the inhabitants, and in some stories, it could be appeased by repairing the cracks or showing respect to the dwelling. Mika, Aya, and Yumi pieced together the legend. Mokumokuren emerged from cracks and gaps in walls, paper doors, or plaster. Often at night, the eyes could appear suddenly, following movements across the room.
So last night, it was just watching, maybe warning us, or testing?
Yeah, it didn't attack. It revealed itself only when we were near the cracks. Maybe it's tied to the apartment, not to us personally.
Still, it's terrifying. I can't imagine sleeping there again.
They realized that Mokumokuren was a presence bound to the building, awakened by cracks or damage. Its eyes were vigilant, unblinking, patient, and its appearance was a warning. A reminder that neglect or hidden danger could manifest in ways the living could not control. The three friends discussed their options. Repairing the cracks could appease the spirit, but Yumi had decided to move. Mika and Aya took notes, sketches, and footage from the previous night, documenting everything they could.
We need to record this carefully. If someone else moves in, they should know what's here.
And maybe if the cracks are repaired, the eyes won't appear again.
I'm done here. I'll contact the agent and start looking for another place. I can't live with that.
Even as the sun rose, the memory of countless eyes lingered. Mokumokuren was not malevolent, but its silent vigil reminded them that the world held hidden watchers, waiting patiently in the cracks of reality. Mika and Aya prepared to leave, their minds still haunted by last night. They understood the Mokumokuren's nature. Yet the image of unblinking eyes following every movement remained etched in their memories.
Not all spirits are evil, some just watch, silently.
But some can terrify simply by being there.
On the third morning, Mika and Aya returned with Yumi to the apartment one last time. The sky was clear, the street unusually quiet. Everything looked normal. The door opened without resistance.
It feels different, doesn't it?
Yeah, like nothing ever happened.
They stepped inside. The air was still, no pressure, no presence. The wall where the cracks once spread like veins was smooth, untouched, intact, as if it had never been damaged.
The cracks? They're gone.
Not even a mark.
They searched every corner of the apartment. No cracks, no eyes, no sense of being watched. But the memory remained. Yumi stood quietly in the center of the room, arms folded, as if afraid to turn her back to the walls.
I don't care if it's gone. I'm not staying.
Later, as they packed Yumi's belongings, Mika revisited her notes. According to old records, Mokumokuren appears in neglected homes, places where damage is ignored, where cracks are left unrepaired. It is not a predator. It does not chase. It watches. Some folklore suggests that once its presence is acknowledged, once the damage is seen, once the residents become aware, the spirit has no reason to remain.
Maybe it wasn't haunting the house.
Maybe it was warning whoever lived there.
Yumi contacted the agent that afternoon. She did not mention eyes or spirits, only structural concerns, cracks that appeared and disappeared. The agent sounded nervous, too quick to agree. By evening, Yumi had decided to move out.
I don't want a place that hides things, even if it's quiet now.
Mika and Aya helped her carry the last box downstairs. As they left, Mika glanced back at the building. For just a moment, she thought she saw something shift beneath the surface of the wall. But when she blinked, nothing. Mokumokuren did not follow them. It did not attack. It did not leave behind destruction. Only a question. How many things in our homes go unnoticed until they begin watching us back?
Some spirits don't appear to scare us.
They appear because we weren't paying attention.
Cracks can be sealed. Walls can be repaired. But once you realize your home was watching you, would you ever feel truly alone again? Subscribe to Whispers Beyond Archives for more true folklore and urban legends hidden in everyday life. Have you ever felt watched in your own home? Tell us before the walls start listening.